Broadcasting through the depths of outer space.
Hello, I'm alive. I don't know what's going on.
By your command.
Fascinating.
God damn you all to hell!
It's the Sci-fi Podcast. This is episode 2 of the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. I'm Michael Ball, and I'm joined today again with the sci-fi expert of the century, Mr. Martin Fowler. Hello, Martin.
Hello, not of the century, I thought of the millennium.
I'm sorry. You've already been downgraded, haven't you? You thought it'd be what's after millennium? What's after that? What's after 1,000 years?
Hang on, I'm going to go to the toilet, I'm going to Google it, if I can pretend I'm being really intelligent.
Let's stick with millennium. How does that sound?
Okay, yeah.
All right,
2
Martin.
millenniums.
Millennium times of infinity. There we go. How are you doing? How's your week been? You been all right?
Yeah, up and down, usual standard life stuff.
Well, life throws. I mean, I've got my kids, I've got my family, work, and everything else. We all have it. We all have commitments, and life throws things. The weather's been really pants as well down here in Portsmouth, where I'm based. Nothing but rain, and of course, because you're not that far away from me, probably the weather's similar to you where you are.
It's you get up in the morning, it's grey, it's depressing, and it's just raining non-stop.
Yeah, I don't do winter. And I still think this has been one of the wettest autumns I can remember. But let's not go on about the weather, because people are here for sci-fi, not the weather forecast. So
Yes. Well,
now, today's show, we've got plenty to talk about, plenty of news. I want to focus on the sci-fi focus of the week of being the 70s survivors, which might be interesting. We've also got some Star Wars news, and I want to hear about your opinion of War of the Worlds as well. And I've also got a bit of funny audio from William Shatner, which I want to throw your way, which should give you a giggle. I heard it about a few years ago, and I think if you've not heard it before, it might give you a giggle. So, shall we start with the latest sci-fi focused news?
do we get a drum roll for like sci-fi news?
Well, you just get the jingle. That'll do, won't it? Here we go.
Working.
So the sci-fi. All right, so this week's news. What I've encountered this week is I've heard quite a lot of negativity about the new Star Wars film, which I wanted to run by you. I've heard, and the thing is, you see, it's one of those things where it's partly to do rumour, but a lot of people are saying things like they're behind schedule, they've still not actually put the actual film in the can, and it's something like about 23 days until the actual film is released. Have you heard anything bad about it? What have you heard your end?
It's been a bit quiet, I think, on Star Wars. But a couple of weeks ago, we got quite a lot about it, didn't we?
That's right.
But it's sort of gone quiet. I've not really, because I'm signed up to a couple of Star Wars things on YouTube.
Right.
And there's not been really anything of important, really. Just going on about the technology and Star Wars characters. Mostly it's Mandalorian.
Yeah, well, The Mandalorian, apparently I heard today that the number one streaming program was Stranger Things. But apparently after 18 weeks or something, it has been usurped now by the Mandalorian, the first 3 parts. And from what I gather, so far the series has gone down very, very well with the majority of the audience, which is a really good thing to hear. Because there was some negativity about Star Wars after The Last Jedi. Fair enough. Like I said, I didn't mind it, but I can understand where people are coming from. So hopefully this is like a turning point in regard to how the fortunes of Star Wars are going to be continuing. And episode 3, you've not seen it yet, but I loved it. We're already nearly halfway through the series, and the one negative thing is, of course, that the actual episodes are quite short. But if you can cope with that, and I can, because in the end, the next time I watch it, I'll just watch it like the whole way through, or watch like 3 episodes in one night and binge watch it like that. And I think that's the problem. I think some people wanted to have the whole of The Mandalorian released as in one program like you get on Netflix, and it's not. And I think a lot of people are a bit sort of fed up with that. There's just not enough in a week to keep you going. Do you think that's the same? Do you agree with that?
No, a friend of mine acquired it, and I watched the first 2 episodes last week, and I was expecting to.
Really?
I was into the second episode, which had me in a lot of stitches. With the Jawas being vaporised. I mean, they'd have the bricks off your car wheels then. Yeah.
They're cool, though. I think they're great. I like the Jawas.
Yeah, but I thought, well, just as they left the planet, I thought, right, here we go.
Yeah, and then it went to
Yoda, and it finished. And I thought, what? I said to my friend, what's going on? He said, I said, is that it? He said, 30 minutes, and then episode 3.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to watch the next 3 episodes of that.
So I'm not going to talk about it until you've seen it, but yeah.
I'm going to watch it every 2-3 weeks, so I can get like an hour and a half, but I'm not happy. Look, it's fantastic, the cinematography. It's better than the sequel movies. They've got it so right. You are in that universe, but it's just half an hour's not long enough.
Yeah, well, I still think that something to do with the Mandalorian is going to be tied in with the new movie, hopefully. But we'll have to see. I'll be going on the 21st of December, the day after it's released. I'm going up. Can't wait to see it, the new film. But this TV series has been a pleasant surprise for me, which is really cool. Moving on to other news, obviously the new Doctor Who's trailer has been released since our last show. I've seen it a couple of times. It looks good. What do you think about what you've seen?
Well, I sort of reviewed the entire last series. There's 3 episodes which I sort of enjoyed.
Right.
But it's not. You say somebody said to me in the comment, is it because she's a woman? I'm not bothered about that.
Me neither.
Let's try something different. It was the writing was appalling, and after New Year's Day episode, I just couldn't believe what I was watching.
I actually liked the New Year's Day episode. I thought it was pretty cool, actually.
I thought it was terrible.
So, I mean, because first of all, I liked it because it was the Back to the Daleks returning. I liked the idea that there was this new faction or superior Khaleds, or the actual genetically life forms, who took over the control of this woman, and then they stole the police car, and then she ends up in a sort of is it like a base or something? She ends up, and then the Dalek is slowly making its own casing to be a Dalek from Earth resources. Wasn't that quite an original take on Daleks, or what was it?
Not really. No. Well, then you explain to me that how could 1,000 years ago Knights of the Round Table defeat it?
Yeah, I could understand. Yeah, all right. That's one thing. So that's your issue, was it? Was it the actual?
No, it was just so bad. That scene when it fired a rocket out, and then the tank fired a rocket, and it
bashed. Yeah.
And don't get me started on PC stuff in the episode either. It just really, really annoyed me. But when I saw the new trailer with the music, I actually got my hairs on my back, Rose.
Really?
The trailer seemed a lot different somehow to the actual content of the last series. Now, they've either edited a marvellous trailer together, and it's going to be terrible. But I've got a feeling about this, because normally first Doctor series are a bit wobbly, aren't they?
That's right, yeah, that's right.
So she's allowed that. Right, as bad as it was, she's allowed that, but now she's got to make the title hers, that I am the Doctor.
Yeah.
So I'm open to it, but I'm sure I saw Syl in
Syl?
that.
No, he's not back, is he?
I think it was Syl, or like one of his they were like that lizard thing with ears. I'm sure it might have been a Syl.
Well, they've only appeared in 2 classics. And they're in the episode where Perry allegedly died, although she didn't die, although the episode appeared that she did die when the consciousness of one of Syl's brethren was transplanted, the brain, into her body.
Yes.
I know it was season 22, I think it was. It was the last Colin Baker season, the Trial of a Time Lord. Trial of a Time Lord. Try saying that after a few sherbets. And I quite like the guy that played Syl with the la 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 la. He did this weird thing with his tongue where he had the most evil alien laugh ever in science fiction. I think it'd be good to see him again. I hope so.
Well, I might be wrong. It looked like him, you know.
Well, some people have said that the Sea Devils might be coming back in season 12.
Oh, I hope so. I'm not bothered about the Najadoon. I haven't really got time for them.
No, they're a pretty one-dimensional kind of adversary, weren't they?
Yes.
And then somebody else, and it's not apparently, but in the episode, I think it was the first Christmas one. It was the I can't remember the name of the species. It was the woman that looks like a spider. She was red.
Oh, the Arachnos.
Arachnos. It looks like there's an Arachnos in the trailer, but apparently someone says, although the woman who looks like an Arachnos, apparently it's not. So I thought it was when I first saw her, but apparently it's not an Arachnos, apparently.
Ah.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's the scene where that spider thing's running down the street, isn't it?
Yeah, well, no, she looks like a humanoid, but the actual face does look like the face of the Arachnos. But then I suppose thinking about it, the Arachnos had those extra eyes around the top of her head. So I don't think it was her. But when I first saw her, somebody else online also said they thought it was an Arachnos. Apparently it's not. So to finish off what you think about this as a news item, what was your first reaction when you saw the season 11 trailer with the new Doctor? Comparatively to how you seen the new trailer, did you get a good vibe, or did you just think, oh, let's just see what it's like? How do you remember that?
In the last season, there was a lot of hype around her, which they had to do.
Yeah.
But I got more hype from this than what I did from the last one.
Well, I'm hoping that they would have listened to a lot of the criticisms. And like I said, a lot of people are so far quite positive about it. And it's actually funny because, I used to subscribe to a guy called Doomcock. Have you ever heard of Doomcock?
Yeah, I've watched his videos, yeah.
Now, I used to think, because I was pretty anti-Star Trek Discovery when it first came on, and I have warmed to it quite a lot in the second season, but do you see a lot of these sci-fi fans just being negative just to get followers and not always holding up to the reasons why they're being negative, except just to slag off a show and just basically make themselves look better? Or how do you feel about those sort of negative?
Well, I had a friend who hated one of my best friends. He wasn't a big fan. Well, he watched it and he panned it, Discovery.
Right.
And said he won't watch it. And then one night in the pub, he'd had a bit too much to drink. He revealed he'd been watching it every week.
Okay.
And he said, and his excuse was, well, I had to watch it because I wanted to know where it was going, because it's not proper Star Trek, you know.
Yeah.
But I think there's different fun. Like, to be honest, I don't mind Discovery.
No.
I think the problem is they're putting too much of the classic stuff in too much. I think it should be developing its own characters. Put some stuff in to keep it familiar. But I think you've got it's like the Next Gen when that come out. Do you remember all the original lot from the 60s? They won't watch it.
Yeah, there was a big issue about the Next Generation. In '87 it came out. And I remember how I was quite young at the time. I was about 14, 15. I was the biggest fan. And I still remember when Brent Spiner appeared on Terry Wogan, and Wogan said that it's not going to be shown on BBC for another 2 years. I was so upset. I was so upset. I couldn't believe it.
When I saw Next Gen, they had certain episodes popped
rented
up.
It out. I rented them out. And there were eventually, I think the VHS was released after BBC, but you could buy X rentals. So I had Encounter at Farpoint and the Naked Now and these fuzzy video copies of stuff like that. And of course I loved it. And of course nowadays people, if they want to watch a new show, you can find it from places online quite easily if you know what. I'm not condoning it, but I'm just saying that people do that. Whereas back in our day, it was waiting 2 years and getting a fuzzy old VHS copy of your favourite show.
I remember Deep Space Nine first video copy came out. I saw it in Virgin. It was £45.
What? £45?
So when it first come out on video, they had it in Virgin. Do you remember Virgin Megastore?
Yeah, I know.
£45 for a Blu-ray, not a VHS of it.
So were they selling? They must be selling rental copies for that sort of price.
Well, that's what I think. It was before.
Yeah, that was a rental copy that they've sold, and that's why it's cost £45 because you couldn't get it. That's bad though. They're not supposed to do that.
I didn't pay it. I went away. I got Sky, came on Sky and recorded it off there. So.
Yeah, I know. I still remember the first episode of that. I was blown away when we went back to Wolf 359 and Picard and everything. I thought it was a great series, and it's a shame a lot of people. Deep Space Nine had a bit of a slow start, but when it kicked into gear, especially at the end of season 2, and then it just got better and better and better, and it's considered by a lot of Star Trek fans to be one of the best, if not the best Star Trek show.
It's the best. I mean, for the first time, you got to see fleets of ships and
it was
really
it was epic. The thing was, it was so epic.
Yeah,
and it was because it was stuck in one place. You had to worry about the Bajorans. You had to worry about that part of the near the Federation, and they were near the Klingons and near the Cardassians, and it was brilliant. And I can't wait to hopefully one day it'll be edited and released on Blu-ray in high def.
God! I saw. Did you watch the?
I know you're going to say the special documentary where they had some of it redone in high def. It was fantastic. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was incredible, and it just makes us realise just what we've missed out on that. So
it does. Hopefully, the problem was with the next generation when it came out on Blu-ray, it didn't sell that well. I
heard about that. I mean, I bought them all. I'm looking at all my Blu-rays now of the next generation, and it really is fantastic. I don't know why it wasn't that popular, but I don't know. I would have thought it would have been, but I don't know why.
I think people were just getting fed up. I mean, don't forget, we didn't get this Star Trek for a long time, and they were just re-releasing box sets. It was just a different cover, and it was the same discs over and over again. Even people were buying this stuff up. There was no point. You know?
I know what you mean. Well, I think that what I've heard, the last of this, is that apparently the actual costs of making stuff redone in high def is getting cheaper and cheaper. And so there'll be one point where Paramount, CBS probably think to themselves, right, we could do this now. And then, of course, they could stream it on their CBS All Access, whatever, in high def. And then I think eventually it will happen. I think we're just got to play the waiting game, which us sci-fi fans often is the waiting game, i.e. waiting for a new series of Doctor Who over a year, or a new Star Trek series, or a Star Trek film. Last thing about Star Trek, apparently Star Trek 4, now that's all going, I think we mentioned this last week, it's all going ahead. I'm very pleased to hear this, because on last week's show you told me that Chris Pine is back, and I didn't know about that, so you told me that live when we recorded it.
He's back.
Excellent, so that's brilliant. So any other news before we move on?
No, it's been a bit quiet this week, really. There's not been much popping up. I've been looking, but
me too.
I suppose it was Doctor Who. I think it's been the biggest thing over the weekend.
Well, hopefully I'll get some more information coming up, which would be cool. Now, I think what we should do now is let's go into the sci-fi focus of the week, which is let's play the jingle, and then we'll feature Survivors. Here we go. It's the Solar Sci-Fi Focus of the Week. Alright, so this is going back to a show from 1975. It was a series I only got into in the 90s. Actually, I think my mum, who's not a big sci-fi fan, she told me about it, of all people. And they had released the first series on VHS. So I did buy the first one. I really, really liked it. So the very quick synopsis on the Internet Movie Database is that a community of survivors struggle to stay alive in the wake of a global pandemic known as the Death that's wiped out 99.98% of humanity. And it's a very, very well written series. It's got some good actors. It's got people like Carolyn Seymour, who's Abby Grant, Ian McCullough, who's also appeared on Doctor Who and some other things as well, Lucy Fleming. When did you first see Survivors? What did you think about it when you first encountered it?
My dad used to watch it.
All right.
And I think it were on on Monday nights. I think it were on about 9 o'clock. I think.
Yeah, right.
Half 8. It were on for an hour. It were on every week. But I were a kid. used to watch it, he was right into it. But the one thing that got me about it was, like we said last week, was the credits. It really freaked me out as a kid. It's the music as well. It's that opening music.
Well, we've had the music playing in the background as this has been recording, so you'll hear that on the actual replay.
Well, it's creepy music.
It is. It's quite surreal, but the end credits, which are also on this recording, they're a little bit more upbeat. But it is the music which I think stands out for this series.
Yes.
But it's one of those series where it did decline in, I think, writing quality. Did you like the whole series? How did you find the later seasons?
I sort of lost interest after the first season because I found they were sort of just doing the same stories every week.
Yeah.
You know, with the antagonist, the situation, and they're surviving. I remember they were driving around in that like van a lot.
Right. And I think you're right about that. And the thing is, as you say, maybe it's something which can sort of run out of ideas within a relatively short period, because in the end, all right, you're aware of the situation, but after that, it's just about you trying to grow things to survive, keeping people away who are negative people. So it might be that it has got a limited lifespan. I don't know. It's quite a good one.
Well, I mean, where do you go with it? I mean, 90% of the world's dead, and then you're going to have pockets of, you know, people. Some people could be immune to it. They're survivors, and then of course you're going to get human nature. Somebody's going to think, well, I can conquer the world now, and take it over. Then you're going to have. I remember one scene where there was a man foaming at the mouth heading towards them, and they had to shoot him.
Yeah.
I remember. I never forgot that scene. And,
I think that was season 3 where there was a character who got rabies.
Yeah. And that's what, because my dad said that's rabies.
Yeah, that's right. It was an older guy, wasn't it? And he got rabies.
Yeah.
And it was quite, because obviously one of his first reactions was he didn't want to go anywhere near water, which apparently is the case. If you get rabies, you can't stand water. You can't bear the sight of water, which is quite weird. But it's a weird reaction of that. But that was a later episode. But it was quite scary when he was foaming at the mouth, running around, and it's quite disturbing. So, but it's a shame that they. I mean, one thing they could have done, which they did in a similar thing with the Day of the Triffids in '81, is maybe what if they'd have jumped it, say, at the end of season 1, jumped it 5 years ahead, where some of the characters are you know, the world is falling to bits. There's no more resources. They can't really scavenge from towns and cities anymore because and I don't know. I think it might have been interesting if it had some sort of bit of a jump forward or something. I don't know whether.
If it came to Day of the Triffids, the original, the 1980s one, that is far superior to Survivors, I thought.
I thought that they had some parallels. I mean, that's one thing with the
definitely
feature.
That feeling of that world, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it was both done by the BBC, so I want to feature that in a future show, The Day of the Triffids.
Definitely. I might be, because a friend of mine's wife, his wife was in that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's divorced her. I was doing this editing course a few years ago. He's an actor.
Right.
And he gets in loads of theatre stuff. He's the right character. But he was married to the woman with the short hair in Day of the That's his wife.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah.
The lead. Oh, you're kidding? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
That's honestly, because he told he said I used to be married to her for about 6 years, yeah.
Joe Grant. No, not Joe Grant. Her name is Joe. Joe.
Yeah, that's her with the short hair. He used to be married to her, yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, I've not seen her in anything else.
No.
But well, let's say that for another episode. But yeah, that sounds great. I mean, maybe we can get some information about what you know about her. But that's brilliant. But yeah, so Survivors, a great series. Shall we just quickly mention the sequel? Did you see the sequels, the remake?
I've not seen the new one. I'm thinking I might take a look.
I'll tell you what then, let's not talk about the remake until you've seen it. I think it's good to sort of bounce off each other with that one. But I think that I think it's okay. I think it's
I've just finished watching I like post-apocalyptic stuff if they get it right.
I love it.
The Last Ship.
Oh, I've still got to see. I've seen the first 4 seasons of that.
Yeah, I've just finished the 5th season now.
Has it now? Has it now? Is it still? Is it now wrapped up, or is it still in production?
Yeah, it's finished now. I finished it yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't. Well, don't give me too many spoilers.
No,
But
I won't tell
was
you.
it good? Was it good?
I like his character. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It could have been better, but it finished in a nice sort of way, you know.
Okay, brilliant. Well, that's another one. As I say, I do like the idea of. That sounds a bit negative, but post-apocalyptic shows and films, I always find them very interesting. And it's like another good one was 28 Days Later, which I thought was an excellent film.
Oh God, yeah, I remember. Didn't they make 2 sequels to that?
They've made one sequel. One of them features the guy that's in the New War of the Worlds and was in Stargate Universe. I can't think of his name. Robert Carlyle. Robert Carlyle. Robert
Carlyle, yeah.
Did you see the sequel? Because I thought the sequel was quite good as well.
Yes, I saw it a few years ago, yeah.
Because what was disturbing about that was obviously spoilers. You haven't seen it. Robert Carlyle is like the main focus as the dad who survived, and he comes and he finds his children, and they've got this special sort of I think it's Canary Wharf, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
And they've got a sort of the American army is there defending it, and then the 2 kids sneak out and they find their mother who's still in their old house, and although she's still alive, she's like a carrier. And of course, eventually she gets brought back to Gunwolf, and then Robert Carlyle's character gets infected. But I remember when he gets infected in that scene, it bloody scared the hell out of me.
I saw one a couple of years ago, and I couldn't believe this got made. It was saw it on DVD. I picked it up in Pound Shop actually.
Right.
It was at the cinema. It was about where they build a big wall around Scotland to keep them all out.
Oh yeah.
There was this disease, right?
Right.
It killed a load of. Well, it started in Scotland. This disease, it killed a load of people in Wales. So they worked out. They built this giant wall across Scotland, and it was to keep it contained. And economy had gone in country. They were trying to run country, but 30 years on, the life were in Scotland.
Oh dear.
And the disease had come back. It was killing people in Britain and across the world. And they're sending this military team, and it's when they get there, it's like Mad Max. Everybody's gone back to being tribalistic and that. But the disease doesn't affect them.
Okay. So
I've got all the films cut. It's crazy. It's quite a big star cast of British actors in it. But how they got that through and made, I don't know.
So is it?
He's the Prime Minister, Julian Bashir from DS9. He's the Prime Minister.
Oh. So is it quite recent? And when was it made?
They made it. Oh, I forgot what it's called now. They made it about 10 years ago. The heroine. It's the female. She kicks ass all the way through it. She's like this warrior, and they go to Scotland with these like armoured transporters. And they get attacks, and it's all like Mad Max, and it's crazy. I just don't know how they got this made, but there is something good about this film. It is. There's something about it. You think it's terrible, but there is. It's a lot of action in it. I will send you the name of the film.
Actually, I'm looking up now. I know because obviously Alexander Siddig is the actor who played Bashir. So yeah. I'm just trying to see what the actual name of the film is. Cosmos, Atlantis, Fifth Estate. No. May in the Summer, Falcon. No, it's not. I mean, if it stands out as a name, but it's not sort of standing out as a name of something which might. Oh, it might be Doomsday. Maybe it's Doomsday.
I think it could be Doomsday.
There we are, John Hatcher. Let's have a quick look at this. A futuristic action thriller where a team of people work to prevent a disaster threatening the future of the human race. Oh, I think I saw Doomsday a long time ago. It never stuck in. Yeah, I can't remember that well though. I did see it a long time ago.
No, that's what I mean. It slips under the radar. I found it in the Pound Shop.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is high quality. I thought it was a cheap, nasty movie, and it's not.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that again. So it's got Carolyn Peterson. Yeah, okay. I don't know if that's the same film. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Lethal Weapon. Yes, I did see this. I need to see it again. For some reason, it's a film that I saw, but I never kind of. I kind of lost sort of information about it, and it never sort of stuck in my head. So Whether I just wasn't that mad on it the first time round, or whether I wasn't watching it properly, I don't know. But I'll look at that. I'll give that a look out. That is quite good, actually. And as you said, there's some quite well-known actors in this. So
I recommend one from the 70s post-apocalyptic, Damnation Alley, John Michael Vincent and George Peppard.
Okay, well, I like both of them. I'm trying to think else. I mean, another one I'm a big fan of is the Amiga Man, which of course.
What, Charlton Heston?
Yeah. There's been three versions of that. They've got the original one with Vincent Price, and then the Charlton Heston one, and then of course it's been redone with Will Smith and I Am Legend. The Will Smith, no, not the Will Smith. The Charlton Heston one is the best one by far.
Oh yeah. When he dies at the end, it's so symbolic, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's almost like a religious kind of like he died for your. It's like the Bible. Yeah, he's like almost like a Jesus or something, and he's sort of lying there and he's got the sort of spear through his heart, but the other guy gets the actual vaccine, and they go off with the kids, and it's a brilliant film. It's wonderful musical soundtrack, great acting, really creepy. Matthias and all the characters in that. I love it. I absolutely. Anthony Zerb's in that one. Yeah, Anthony Zerb's in that, and Anthony Zerb's a great actor. I like him as well. Brilliant film. One of my favourites. It's so good. Excellent film. Let's give that a rewatch.
Definitely give it a review.
What did you think of I Am Legend?
I didn't mind it. I thought it had potential. I don't mind Will Smith.
I don't mind Will Smith. I think he's quite good.
Yeah, I didn't. He got a panning after that film After Earth, didn't he, or something? But I Am Legend. Yeah, it's all right. It's something you'd have in your DVD collection and think, oh, what's that tonight?
I think the only problem with the film is that the obviously the survivors, the infected, are all just CGI, and it's not very good CGI, and I think that's one factor which is against it.
And they tried to make one of the zombies like more intelligent than the others. He was a bit of an antagonist, wasn't he?
And did you see the alternate ending of that, where that he survived?
Oh no! Is that on the DVD?
Yeah, I actually I watched it about a year ago with my wife, and I didn't tell her she had seen it before, and I didn't tell her that I put the alternative ending on, where he survives, and she looked at me like, I don't remember this happening the last time. It's really funny. I really pranked her. It's worth seeing the alternate ending because there's a couple of extra scenes as well. But I think, like I said, it's definitely okay. I didn't really get into the Vincent Price original one. I have seen it, but it didn't stand out particularly well, that one. I think after seeing the Charlton Heston one, going back to the Vincent Price one, for some reason it didn't click with me. Did you see the original one?
Oh, I saw that years ago. I just don't think I showed any interest in that. It was the Charlton Heston one for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're after a post-apocalyptic TV series that's out now, I'd go for the 100.
The 100?
Yeah.
Okay, I've not heard of that one.
Yeah, it's all about consequences, and I won't give you any spoilers. Everybody thought it was like this teenage drama thing. It's not.
Right.
That's what it starts off as. Not within 6 episodes. It's about these people that they're trying to remain on the humanity, but you have to do things which is quite, sickening. You have to justify your actions, and they have these scenarios of surviving every week.
Right.
And they're clinging on to the humanity. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. I do recommend. It's on Amazon. I do recommend should start. It's 10 episodes per season.
Brilliant. The other series I'm watching at the moment, which isn't apocalyptic, is something called Future Man, which is quite interesting. It's sort of a weird comedy, but it involves time travel. Have you heard of that one?
Is that the one you said last week about where it's like Groundhog Day?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's Russian Doll. That's
Russian Doll.
Yeah, this is quite good. I'll look on the Internet Movie Database if you want some information about it. But so far, it's all right. It's got a bit of adult humour in it, but it's sort of a sci-fi comedy kind of thing. And so far, it's quite good. I'm not sure. You know how sometimes you watch a series and sometimes you stick with it and then it sort of trails off. Another time you think, yeah, this is really good. So I can't give you the full opinion about that until I've seen it. But that's the sci-fi series I'm watching at the moment. So I'll have to share that with you once I've seen that through. Right, I think it's now time for. We've got a couple more things tonight. Do you want to do Alien versus who?
Well, Alien.
Not Alien. No, not Alien. Not Alien. Alien, but Predator versus who?
Predator.
No. That's
Predator
not.
versus.
No, let's not go there. Let's go with Predator versus who. You ready for this one?
Mr. Worf from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Predator versus.
I protest. I am not a merry man.
No. So you had this idea. We had a brief talk about it this week. So we had the idea that the Predator lands on the jungle planet where Worf is there.
Worf's on a mission, but his runabout gets shot down by a Jem'Hadar ship.
Okay. And so did you want it? So would there be Jem'Hadar on this planet?
I mean, Jem'Hadar can cloak, can't they? Like a Predator, can't they? It could. I think a squadron of Jem'Hadar would take out a Predator quite easily. A squadron of them.
Yeah. So let's make it. So it's obviously Predator versus Worf. So
Yeah.
Worf has got his Metleth and his Batleth.
Yeah, his phaser don't work because his
phaser's conked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no electric in the energy, then so he's got like a dampening field. He can't use his phaser. All he's got is his Macleth and his Batleth, and he's got the Predators landed. The eyes are glowing. What happens next? What does he do?
And he's got an emergency beacon that sends in a signal to come and pick him up. That's it. Tricorder's acting with it as well.
Right. So would he just lunge at him with his Batleth, or would he try to hide, or what do you think they would both do with each other?
He's got somebody else is with him. Somebody's died at runabout, and they get out at runabout and they start walking.
Right.
And he's suddenly all these Starfleet. I'd say there's about 3 or 4 of them. Each of the Starfleet officers gets killed.
Okay.
Through mysterious circumstances. But Worf, with him being a warrior and being in tune with stuff, he knows something's there, and tricorders aren't working, and it's hunting Worf now. It wants Worf.
Okay.
And he's always got his Batleth. That's it.
So obviously, because the Predator normally knows a strong adversary, it's one of its main tasks is to find a really a tough prey to actually beat. And of course, Worf would be an excellent adversary. But I don't know who would win about that, because of course the Predator does have his energy weapon, he does have his invisibility cloaking device, but Worf would be able to smell with sense and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, he'd revert to, Klingons have that state, don't they?
Yeah.
He goes into that state. He's giving it out the Klingon death cry to say, "Come and get me. I'm ready to take you on."
Yes. Yeah, it'd be interesting. But whether he would, I don't know what, because obviously the Predator often goes in trees, which of course is a jungle planet. So you'd have to be aware of the source being maybe above him. But
well, I think you'd replicate the first battle in the first Predator movie, but just put Worf in there with the Batleth.
Okay. I don't know. I think the Predator would probably win, though. I don't know.
Really?
But of course, yeah. I think that Worf. I don't know. I don't think Worf would be strong enough.
It's not about that. It's his combat skills. Worf. The Klingon. They're just bred for Worf, and it'd be like a holiday for Worf. This would be great. I mean, he can cut loose fully.
Well, I suppose you've got to think about the holodeck they used to have on the Next Generation. They used to have these holodeck battle scenarios, didn't they?
Well, he did. Don't you remember when Riker came in? He lost the plot and he tried killing him because he went into that state.
And then Riker shouts out, "At ease, Lieutenant!"
Yeah, because he will lose. I think Worf could take out a Predator. I really do. I think he'd come out pretty battered up, but I think Worf could take a Predator out.
Yeah.
I think he'd set traps for it.
That's right. He can set traps, couldn't he? So
yeah.
Maybe but then, the string traps where they could suddenly catch them like in a net or something. But then, and you can see the Predator maybe trying to blast through the string rope catching thing, and then trying to blast through that, and then maybe Worf sort of lunges at him with a bat left, just maybe sort of like spikes in the back of his head or something, and tries to cut his head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Predator will want the Batleth as a trophy.
Oh, or
that Batleth as a trophy. I mean, you're dealing with. I mean, I saw an episode where Worf took out several Klingons in one go.
Yeah.
You know, look what he did. I mean, look how he moved. You know, that's why Picard took him on all away missions.
That's right. That's right.
Killed him now, Mr. Worf. You know.
Yeah, I think the Predator will win. I just think I would, because also the Predator also has a lot of instinct. That is his own race. So, but then it's both based on instinct for both their own respective races.
Yeah, but both races are based on honour as well.
That's right.
The Predators won't kill women or children. They got the know. If you're armed, they'll go for you.
Although Klingons probably would. Klingons, when they're in the heat of battle, they'll kill anything. They wouldn't care.
Oh yeah. I really think Mr. Worf. I think it'd be a battle to death. I think Worf would be pretty cut up, but I think he'd take it out, and I think he'd chop its head off, and he'd stand there in this jungle, all his uniform ripped, with his batleth, screaming a Klingon death cry.
But don't Klingons, they respect honour more than anything. If they have a battle but the Predator doesn't die, I suppose they'd consider it an honourable death, wouldn't they, a Klingon?
Well, the Predator would want Worf to kill it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because I suppose so. I don't know. That's a really interesting one.
But then, because I think Worf would chop its arm off so its nuke couldn't go off. And then once he'd done that, he'd just decapitate it. I really do. I think he'd tear it to pieces. But I think Worf would come out badly injured. But then a runabout turns up and saves them.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. And then of course you could see that maybe other Predators suddenly come along like they did in the Predator 2. There's other I don't know. It's a weird one. But another race that the Predator would face, maybe we should do it on a separate one, is from Star Trek, the Hirogen, who are also very similar.
That could be done. Well, I'll do some research into the Hirogen, and I was thinking Captain Kirk next time.
Oh,
yeah, a lot of posing, a ripped shirt.
Yeah, a lot of shoulder rolls. It'd be shoulder rolls.
Oh yes, definitely.
But
he took out a gun, didn't he?
That's just what I was thinking, in the desert.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe it'll be the Predator versus Captain Kirk next week.
Well, let me know let me think. So we'll call it a draw this week.
All right, let's call it, because I don't know. I think that the Predator has got more weapons to him, and the thing is, if Worf has only got a batleth, I don't know. But as you say, it's to the death. He's very tactical. He knows what to look for in a weakness in a adversary, and he's had all those years of experience. So, okay, let's leave that as a draw. Let's call it a draw.
This week it is a draw.
Okay, well there we go. Right, now I think the next thing, now I've got this is actually sticking with Star Trek, but this is a funny little thing I came across.
Okay.
This is something I heard on, have you heard of Howard Stern in the States, the American DJ?
Yes, the radio DJ, yeah.
Right, well this actually featured on his show a few years ago, and it's basically what it is. It was William Shatner was in a recording studio. And I heard this, I thought it was hilarious. I wanted to share it with the sci-fi community, where he was supposed to just record this advert for this product, and this guy was sort of just trying to help him to say the things in the right manner, because of course, you know, when you record these things, they don't always come out right the first time. You've got to say things in the right way. So I'm going to give this a play. You will hear this. And I think this is really funny. Are you familiar with this? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm looking forward to hearing it. I'll let you know.
Okay, here we go. Let's give this a play and see what you think. Here we go.
This is William Shatner, and I would like to invite you to take a journey with me into the 21st century. So take the next few minutes and listen very closely. You'll be amazed at what you hear. Okay?
Can there be a little more excitement in the beginning?
Excitement.
I love it. Okay. All right.
It sounded like really really super laid back.
Well, I'm saying, okay.
He's pissed
I'll
off
try
already.
to do that. Let's do take two. This is William Shatner, and I would like to invite you to take a journey with me into the 21st century. So take the next few minutes and listen very closely. Speak up. And maybe you better do it the way you hear it. Do it for me. No, I mean, just go ahead.
This is William Shatner, and I would like to invite you to take a journey with me into the 21st century. So take the next few minutes and listen very closely. You'll be amazed at what you hear.
Is that the way you'd like me to do it? Okay, I'll do it that way. Okay, ready. This is William Shatner, and I would like to invite you to take a journey with me into the 21st century. So take the next few minutes and listen very closely. You'll be amazed at what you hear. Okay, so I think that came pretty close.
I'm sorry, are you making fun of me?
No,
Just testing.
No, I believe that you asked that was about the way you did it. I wasn't jesting.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know.
No, I insist. Now, what I want you to do is is that satisfactory to you?
I don't know, maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut.
No, because if your mouth were open, you'd have popped some pills in them. So, do the next paragraph for me so I can get an idea of how you want it. This is page 2.
Well, I don't know. I really don't want to, because I think you actually have a much better feel.
No, I don't think I do. I would like to hear you read the second paragraph so I can
really
do
upset.
it that way.
Yeah.
Let me hear.
I really, now that I looked at the different things you did, I really like the first one.
No, I like it better the way you did it. I insist that you show me how to do page 2.
Oh, geez.
Really, I mean it. Please read so I can get an idea of what you want. No, I'm going to do it the way you think it should go. No, I am going to do it the way you're reading it. Okay? I know you're here to see that I do it the way the company wants it, so I'm going to do it the way you read it.
Well, but I don't want you to do it.
But you're telling me how you want me to do it.
Well, I'm sorry.
No. I am going to do it your way. No, there's no apology necessary. You know what you want. You know what you want.
No, I don't. I mean,
You come in here and you don't know what you want?
Well, I come in here because I know you're a professional. I mean, and you know how to do it. And I'm sorry I even said anything.
No, I am going to do it the way you want. Every paragraph. And you'll send it back to town and you'll see whether, I hope it will please everybody else. As long as I'm pleasing you, that's all that matters.
Mr. Shatner, would you please,
I feel sorry for
I
that
don't
girl.
feel right
No,
about doing that.
he's
No,
a
you felt
very
you
awkward
wanted
person.
something done on the first paragraph. I'm trying to do what you want. Okay, let's lay down the second paragraph.
There we go. That's the end of that. So there you go. I always thought that was really funny because basically the guy was just trying to get him to speak in a certain way, and Shatner's just really sarcastic. He's really confrontational, and the guy's just backing down to saying, "Are you mocking me?" I love it. I just thought it was quite funny to share that.
He is actually like that. He's a very funny person.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, look, I love him as Captain Kirk, but his acting talents, they're not exactly.
Yeah, but I've also heard that the actor is not. Like I said, I've heard that he's not very nice in real life.
No, I've met him twice.
What was your opinion of him when you met him?
I met him at a convention years ago. He was signing autographs. You get tired, and you're signing autographs all day. But when you charge it, this was back in the 90s, when you're charging 30-40 quid at a time, I think you've got and there's like 500 people there, I think you've got to put the effort in,
Yeah.
And he did a talk, and it's like if nothing's going his way, it gets really funny. Look, as Captain Kirk, I love the character. I liked him in the movies, but I wanted to meet him, and when I met him, I was quite disappointed. And then I met him at Comic-Con,
right,
like a few years back. He wasn't as bad, but you could tell he just wasn't into it.
Yeah, but that's the impression I get. That he just doesn't really want to be there. And it's like I recently went to my very first sci-fi convention in Birmingham.
Yes.
I met Denise Crosby, I met Dominic Keating, and the guy that plays Paul Stamets, and they're all quite nice actually. Dominic Keaton, who plays Malcolm Reed, was just like the actual character in Star Trek Enterprise. It was amazing. It was just I was.
The rest of them, I've met quite a lot of them, and and they're all really nice people. I met Patrick Stewart. What a wonderful guy.
I've seen him. I've not talked to him, but I have seen him twice.
But he's so down to earth. He's from up north, and he's just, his accent's different. He's not like, he's got a northern accent. And they're talking to you, Dominic Keaton, take pictures with you, sign stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of them are all right, and then you get him. I met Leonard Nimoy, and he was a real gentleman.
Oh, I'd love to have met him. I really would have loved to have met him.
Yeah, I met him at a book signing in Waterstones. He wrote a book called I Am Spock.
I heard about that because originally he did one saying I'm not Spock.
Yes, he did.
That's right.
But by this time, I think it made peace, with this stereotype.
I think he gave in. I think in the end he thought it's just too big a part of his life, so he actually just sort of said, well, okay, basically maybe I am Spock. So he did this book. I heard about that.
Well, yeah. He was a very talented man. He was a photographer, one of the best in the world. He was a fantastic director.
Yeah, I know he was. He did 3 Men and a Baby, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was. Yeah. He was a very clever person. But Shatner's doing a Wrath of Khan special in London next year. I think it's March. It was on Facebook. The tickets were the cheapest tickets were £37. It's the Q&A. You watch Wrath of Khan.
Oh, and then he does like a Q&A.
Yeah, after. But cheapest ticket, I think they were 37, and then going. They were upwards like VIP were like £200-300, but I'm not paying that to go see him.
No. I mean, like I said, I think that I've seen a couple of people on YouTube sort of like seeing him, and he's very sort of a bit brusque, and he's a bit short, and he's just sort of there going through the motions. Where, like when I saw Denise Crosby, who played Tasha Yar, I was there with my daughter. She looked around and sort of looked at me and gave me a little wave, and then we just came over and started talking. And she was just so nice, and I've never spoken to a Star Trek actor before, and it was really kind of like. I'm new to this. I'm not a person who goes to conventions, but we just happened to be in Birmingham, so we went. And it's really amazing when you see these people that you watched your whole lives and you actually talk to the real actors. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, a couple of years ago I was at MCM and I saw Marina Sirtis there. And,
I bet she's nice. I bet she's alive.
I tried sneaking a photograph of her from a distance, and she saw me. She came over and she said, "Do you want to get me in the picture?" Yes, I stood there and she was marvellous.
I asked Dominic Keating for a photo. He said no. He said I can't do that. But I asked the guy that played Paul Stamets. He said yeah, that's fine, and we took a picture of them. But I know you're supposed to buy a picture, and then they it's weird how they do it. But but it was good fun. It's good fun, and I think
99% of them are all right. You're gonna get. Shatner, I suppose really he was Captain Kirk. He started the Star Trek thing.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think that in the end he was the person that basically, him and Leonard Nimoy are the ones that really cemented.
DeForest Kelly.
And DeForest Kelly as well, of course, who is sadly passed now. They were the three that really got Star Trek going in the first place. So, but yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see Shatner.
Well, George Takei can't stand it.
I know. I've heard that.
He said he's been on TV and blatantly said it.
I know. But a huge rift. As far as I know, it's George Takei. Also, James Doohan couldn't stand him either.
No, and so that says quite a lot, really, doesn't it?
I know. So, like I said, I don't know whether if I was there and William Shatner was there, I don't think I'd go up and say hello. Let's just put it like that.
Did you know about the story about Patrick Stewart and the Next Gen when he started on that?
No, quick. We've got about 5 minute recording, so yeah, quickly say that before you.
Well, when he started, he only did it for money because he thought it'd be cancelled after one season. Well, he was a theatre actor and he didn't earn a lot of money. So when he did Next Gen, they paid him thousands of dollars. He thought one season I'd be out.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He was very standoffish to the rest of them.
Really?
Yeah, well, they all used to go. Well, they talk about it on convention footage. And what they used to do, he used to go in his trailer, rehearsing his lines. Well, they all went off and had dinner and talked and had a laugh. And it went on for like first season. You noticed this? He were really stiff. Well, they all
Yes, he was. He was really pompous.
wound him up all the time.
Yeah.
And there was a day he walked onto the set and they were all in bathrobes and fellas were in their undies all saying, "Oh, engage it." And he bust out laughing because they so hammered him so much.
So they broke him.
broke him.
That's
he
interesting.
For the first time ever, he started enjoying it. They're like a family now.
Oh, I know. They're like the best of mates. They're like
Yeah.
the best of mates. But yeah, I mean, it's very clear that when you watch the first season of The Next Generation, and he's so serious and he's so kind of what's the word? Remote.
Yeah, offish, like.
Yeah, and you
By
feel like.
season 3, it's all changed.
But then that also reflects in his character, and that's why Patrick Stewart's Picard becomes such an iconic, one of the best Star Trek characters ever, because of he mellows as an actor, which then showed through in his character, and made him. He's fantastic. But then you think of Picard in season 1, and then you think of Picard by Nemesis, the actual character as well as obviously the actor have changed a lot in those 15 years. And we're only just over a month until, of course, he's back in Star Trek.
Wait for that, you know. I cannot wait for that.
Well, we'll have to do some sort of special show, which gives a breakdown of the first episode. We'll have to think about that.
24th of January.
Yeah, we'll do that. Actually, talk about next week's show. If it's all right with you, I want to do a War of the Worlds special.
Oh God, yes.
So you would have seen the whole of the new version. Then we could have a big discussion about it.
I'm up for it. Yeah, I am.
So I'll do a new graphic as well with just tripods or something. It'll be still the Solo One Sci-Fi podcast, but it's going to be a War of the Worlds special, and I'll even feature a prank call I did once to a Chinese lady where there was tripods invading and stuff. It's really silly, and it'll give. Yeah, you'll love it. You got like the tripod sort of sound from the Tom Cruise version. It's bellowing in her ear, and I'm saying it's like a Chinese. I said, do you do what is it? I can't think what I was going to do now. I can't remember. We'll give it a play. But I did some funny one-liners. I'll give you a giggle. So there we go.
Cool.
All right, on that, I think we'll make a move. I'm going to finish with a song. This is by a band called Nerf Herder, and it is Mr. Spock.
Cool.
There we go. You probably haven't heard it, but you're going to hear it now. Thank you, Martin. Thank you for a good show. We'll be back with the War of the World special next week, and we'll catch you next time on the Solo One Sci-Fi podcast.
Oh yes, I look forward to it. See you next week.
See you later. Cheers.